Hi, Kevin Reed here again, introducing to you KLR Loan Manager's charges and fees setup. We have gone through company setup controls, loan products, and now we're going to look at charges and fees. Every loan company applies charges and fees where necessary. So, in this case, if you remember our last video on loan products, we set up a loan. We call it test loan. And if we look in our list of loan products, let me just pull that up, you will see test loan at the bottom. We hit find and loan product test loan comes up with a reducing balance at 5%. In charges and fees, we should have an equivalent charge which was added for us. Interest on product 30, reducing balance. And if we hit find, you'll see that this was all set up for us automatically. The system takes the parameters from the product we set up and creates the interest charge for us, and therefore it is marked as an interest charge. If sales tax needs to be applied, we could simply check the box here to say tax must be applied to this interest, and whether or not it's already included in the figure or it should be added. In this case, we also notice that all the parameters we had set for the loan product have been copied here. The 5% and the frequency of the rate, etc. Whether there were any grace days and the type of transaction that will be created. However, there's also another screen. If you look at the tab at the top that says association, so this particular charge is associated with this product, test loan, that we brought up on the loan screen a while ago. We can of course add a new charge and associate it with the loans we want to apply to. So if we hit new charge, of course we get a blank screen for which we can fill in all the details of what this charge is all about. We select the transaction type, whether it's a charge or a penalty or interest or tax, and then we decide whether or not it's based on a percentage or it's a fixed amount. We also can specify what's the maximum that should be charged and what's the minimum, so we don't exceed a certain amount for this charge and we don't go below a certain minimum. This is not compulsory. If we leave it at 0, it will fluctuate according to what we set otherwise. Here we can set a percentage if it is the type of loan that uses the type of charge that uses percentage. Or if it's a fixed charge, we can simply type the amount of the charge here. Each time this charge applies, it will only be $500. Or if we have a percentage, we can simply put the percentage here, 2.0, and the charge will always be 2%. Here we can decide whether or not the charge should repeatedly be charged to the customer's account on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or if it's a one-time non-recurring charge. Whatever you choose, this charge will not apply to the customer's account again until the number of days in each of these or the selected frequency has passed. So in this case, this charge will only apply every 7 days if necessary, if the criteria is met. We can also decide to give the customer extra days before applying this charge. So if the customer is late and you want to give them 2 extra days, before the charge hits their account, you can give them 2 grace days. At the bottom of the screen, we have option buttons, which allows us to tell the system if this is to be applied only if the payment is late, or should this be applied to the outstanding payment amount alone, or to the balance, or it doesn't matter. So we can also say this charge only apply if the last payment date on the loan schedule has passed, which means the loan has matured. Or we can decide if this was a charge which should be applied once the loan is paid to the customer. So it says apply at disbursement. Therefore, it only applies when the loan is being disbursed. We can, of course, put any description that matches closely to the charge. So, for example, if this was a late fee or processing fee, we simply type the appropriate description here. Charges IDs are automatically assigned. We cannot associate a charge that does not yet have a charge ID. So we hit save, and once we hit save, well, we have an error here. Transaction type cannot be null. So let's complete this. It's a charge and it's a percentage based charge. We already have 2% here, and then we simply hit save again. Once the charge is successfully saved, a charge ID is associated with it. This is how the system keeps track of the different charges. We can then switch to the association screen and by default choose which loan products we want this charge to apply to. In this case, we're going to use the test loan that we just created. So each time a test loan is issued and this charge becomes applicable, it will be applied to the customer's account. Thank you.